Daryl here. The channel is Programming in Any Language. The supporting website is www.black-duck.com. You find the videos and the PDFs of the code there in most cases. The video is the ToString method. The ToString method is used in a lot of videos, but it's important to focus on this tool so we can better understand how to use it. That's the purpose of this video, to give you a short presentation on how ToString can be used to format numbers. Let's get to it. I use the ToString method and format numbers in a number of other videos, but I haven't really addressed it by itself, a nice, concise, short method. And so that's what I'm doing here. So we're going to display numeric values. And the text property of a control only accepts string literals, as you know. To display a number in a text box or a label control requires you to convert a numeric data to a string type. In C#, all variables work with the ToString method to convert the value of the variables to strings. Example here of decimal gross pay is the variable. We're putting 1,550.0 in it. And we can take that number now, convert it to string, and put it into the label gross pay label.text. Same thing with integer, my number, 123. Message box.show, my number to string is automatically put it there. What you're missing here is the format operators you can stick inside those parentheses and make them work. We've got a table to show you what you can actually use there. Another option is implicit string conversion with the plus operator. You can take an integer like ID number, which is equal to 1,044, and create an output string that'll have in it your ID number is space plus ID number. It'll take that number, that integer, automatically convert it to a string and concatenate it to the your ID number is and place it in the output. Then you can simply take that output and place it in a label or wherever you want to put a message box, whatever. So that's all there. Now, the ToString method can actually format a number to appear in specific ways, and that's the importance of this table here. The following input lists the format strings and how they work with sample outputs. If you take a look at the format string, we can use a number format by using an N, capital or small. It doesn't matter in both cases here. You can use either one. And you can apply a number to that N, which will tell you the number of decimal places you're going to place it out. For example, format string, the number is 12.3. We're going to move it to string N3. In other words, we're going to create a numeric format to 3 decimal places. So even if there is nothing after the 12, you're going to still go out 3 places. And then we did in this case, we took the 3 and we added 2 zeros to it. We have 12.300 because we said N3. If we said N2, it'd be 12.30. N1, 12.3. For fixed point scientific format, we use the F. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.0. We're going to use ToString F2, which means we want 2-digit decimal places after that number. So it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's going to add 2 places to the right of the decimal place. In this case, we have nothing there, so it's 0, 0 goes in there. Had there been a number there, it would have increased that and made a number. E, exponential or scientific notation. You'll also do this if you're working with scientific notation, you're using numbers and converting them to a smaller number with an exponent that tells you the number of places you're going to move the decimal place. And that's what we're actually doing here. This is common when you're working with calculus or whatever else you might be using. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.0. We're using ToString E3. That means we're going to take this thing and we're going to truncate the number to 1.235. In other words, we're going to make it a 1, putting a decimal place after the 1, and tell me we want to go out 3 places, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to extend it out to the full number size, which is 5 places. So that plus 005 is telling us to move the decimal place 5 positions over if you want to see the actual number that came in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what the number that came in, but we're rounding here. It's going to be 1.23500. So if we end up moving that decimal place, we'll have 123,500 will be the result from this particular thing. If you didn't want it to round, then you would say E5 here to bring that thing up to actually show the rest of those numbers that are in that place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with an E5 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 6 actually. It would actually truncate the 6 off there. You need a 6 in there. You can play with it. That's what this is for. We're going to show you a demo in a little bit where you can play with those numbers. The C, currency format, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.8. By using a C in there, it automatically converts it to currency, putting a $sign in there, and commas if it's over 1,000, and 2-digit decimal places. And because it's a negative, it's putting parentheses around the number. So you're seeing that there. Positive number, you're not going to have the parentheses. For percentage format, P, and we've got 0.234, and we're getting 23.40% in our number. Let's go ahead and create a program that'll do this. What I'm going to do here is I've got a small form that I'd like to place a little demonstration program so we can look at these different formats. And I've already done one, so I'm going to grab the text files or all the objects and place them on this form and then describe them to you so you know what they all are. What I've got is 3 buttons here. A process button, as you can see, button process, a clear button, button clear, and an exit button, button exit. We've got a bunch of labels here that are simply label 1. They're just simply used for display purposes. I've got a text box up here called TXP input, where the user is going to apply a number in here. And we've got 5 labels. Label number, label fixed, label exponent, label currency, and label percentage. So we can see what happens when I enter a number here and we look at the different formats that we're actually placing in place here. I'm going to go to my process button first and double click on it to create the code or to create the coding window for it. And we're going to then take a look at this. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to set up a variable. I'd like to bring in the text box. So double DBL input is the variable I'm going to use, and I'll just call this number entered by user. And then I'm going to set up a try catch because I don't know if the user is going to actually put in a number or not. You can't trust the user, so I'm going to use a try catch to catch this. So we use a try, and right underneath it we'll place a catch. And this will have a message box in it, .show, and it'll simply say, please enter a decimal number. And what I'll do too is I'll then clear the text box and set my focus at the text box so the user can type in his number again. Now when he knows he made an error. Place that in here. Text input.text equals null, and text input.focus will set him there and make that go. I'm going to go ahead and set up my clear button right away. And what I want to do with my clear button is I basically want to clear all labels, and the text box also set the focus. So I'm going to clear my text box, set the focus, just like I did up here, but clear all my labels also so I can enter another number. So the clear button is really to do a repeated procession of these numbers as you're going through. The exit button, of course, we've seen this a million times, and we're simply going to close the form. And that'll be that. So that means all we have to do is do this try piece in here and make this thing work. So what I'm going to do is I want to format the number that the user entered into the different formats that we have here. But first we have to get it. So we're going to go ahead and say DBL input is equal to double.parse. We're going to parse this, and we're going to parse text input. This will parse the user input. If that fails, our catch will catch it. If it works, we can go ahead and format. I'm going to actually skip down a space here, and I'm going to say LBL number.text is equal to DBL input ToString. But I'm going to place the N1 on here. Quote, N1, quote. So this is going to, whatever I put in, it's going to knock it down to 1-digit decimal places. We're also going to do LBL fixed. And in this case, we're going to put in F2. And what this is going to do, it's going to make it a 2-digit decimal place for a fixed number. LBL exponent.text is going to be E3. What this will do is it'll move the decimal place to the second position, so we've got 1 point something. But it's also going to tell us that we are using 3-digit decimal places in here. We're going to truncate our number to the 3-digit decimal places, and then tell us how far the scientific notation goes up by using the E to represent the number of places the number actually holds. You saw that in our format before. We'll see that when we actually demo this thing. LBL currency, easy, just a C. It'll automatically put in the commas, the $sign, and parentheses if it is a negative number. LBL percentage, we're going to use P, and that will format our number into a percentage by moving the decimal place over two positions. So let's go ahead and do a file save on this and do a run. We'll take a look at this. I'm just going to put in the number 1 for. By the way, I've set these tabs up so that this is 0, 1, 2, and 3. So it's going to. I don't have to use the mouse when I start doing this. So I'm going to put a 1 in here, tab down to the process, hit enter, and you'll notice that it does the number format 1 position. Does the fixed scientific notation 1.00. The scientific format, 3-digit decimal place, we used E3 on this thing, but we're not moving anything over. And currency format, $1, and percentage 100.0%. Let's put a large number in now. Let's go ahead and put in 234582.23 and hit process, and bang, we get 234, 589.2. 1-digit decimal place. The fixed point scientific format is 235, 586.23. The exponential scientific formation is it's going to move it over 5 places, the decimal place, and it's going to truncate it to 3. So we're getting 2.346. Rounds that 589 to a 6. A 234, 589 becomes a 6, and then it moves it out. We actually dropped the 23 as well. We're moving out to 5-digit decimal, or 5 places over for the decimal. The currency format is 234, 589.23. We have a comma there with a dollar sign. And the percentage format, 23458,923.00 is the percentage. A very large percentage, obviously, but we're chinking that number there. So you can see it's very easy to format the number by using this stuff right on the side over here. N1, F2. We can change this to N2 if we want, F3 if we want. Whatever you want. You can play with this and you'll get an idea of how this actually works. And you'll find you'll be using this all the time to create, if you're putting in a number and you're dividing something, you end up with a large decimal place. You don't necessarily want to put that in there, especially when you're printing out a list of numbers. You want to kind of truncate them, line them up on the decimal place, and make them look nice. Formatting makes it look nice. That's formatting, the two-string method in a nutshell. I hope this video helps. As more tools, techniques, and fixes become obvious, you'll find them in this section. Thanks for watching. Visit the website when you get a chance, and please subscribe to the channel. There's more stuff coming every week. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.